This is the Williamson County Board of Commissioners meeting. We're reconvening from our meeting yesterday, which was March the 2nd at 9 o'clock. Today is Thursday, March 3rd at 1:15. Roll call, please.
Jim Marlowe.
Present.
Brent Gentry.
Present.
Tim Atkinson.
Present.
Okay, today we have Brian Ziegler, and we're going to discuss the White Ash ARPA agreement. That was one of the agreements that the board approved. And so I think that was for $737,870. Brian, do you have anything you want to say about White Ash?
And no, I mean, once you guys will execute this, what we can do then is, first what I'd like to do is get the televising of the sewers, so we know what shape they're in. That'd be the first contract, kind of like I explained before. I know this was a full cost estimate. Some of this, we don't know how much rehab we need to do until we do the televising. So that'd be like a first contract we put together, get the information, and then we'll move on to design after that.
So just in the last week, we had two pumps that were not pumping correctly, and once again we had sewage in the ground out there. And also we had a tap that had to be replaced, and there was actually a 4-inch gap from the pipe leading to the main and the main itself. So we know that we're getting water infiltration there.
Okay. Yeah.
So it's time, but we got to get this one done.
Okay. And I think we can go ahead and jump on design of that. Televising won't impact the design of the actual pumps. So we can
Right.
the electrical and the pumps, we can start design of that so that we can actually fit that part. That might fit it separate.
Do you have a time frame on that, Brian? You might be able to see that.
The design of the pumps and electrical, it's probably gonna take us 90 to 120 days to get that all done. Televising the sewers, that's a specialty contractor, so sometimes it depends on how busy those guys are, and I suspect they are, like everybody is.
Mhm.
So that'll probably be through summer before I have a full report of that. So, yeah, I'd say you're probably looking at construction, right, spring.
Spring of next year,
Yeah.
23.
Yeah, we'll try to rush it, that's conservative. So try to speed it up as fast as we can, so. A lot of those like pumps, electrical components, that's all like everything, longer lead times.
So those things like the pumps, can those be installed before the rest of the system is in?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. We can maybe have to design that and go out to bid with that while we're doing televising
Yeah.
the sewers and have another contract. So this is a little bit different job. We don't have just one design, one bid. We'll do multiple stages, but we can move forward with awarding that, installing those pumps, get them ordered while we're doing televising the sewers, and then have a later job that rehabbing the sewers, whatever it needs, lining or replacement. Or whatever.
We're going to get the proper pumps in.
Yeah. Yeah, one of them, I think I told you just when I was helping you guys out at the beginning, I did design calcs and I don't know what happened. It's not sized properly, so it's not moving water.
Well, I think it was a pump that was originally presented to us as something to get us by. I don't think it was ever designed to be a total replacement of what was in there before. I think it was a lower horsepower and a more cubic feet a minute.
I remember calling the supplier and he said, well, I was given a nameplate. He said, I really didn't do any design calculations myself. And so you're right, maybe it was just something.
Just to get it done, right?
Yeah, that's what it was. So for sure though, this would get done before 2026.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. All right, well.
And then, just so I know, I don't think we'll be close to that, but is that a calendar year?
That, the whole ARPA has to be complete by 2026.
Complete
By
by
January 1st, 2026.
By January 1st? Okay.
Right.
And a question, Ashley, maybe you can answer this. I know we're setting this up more or less like on a draw system, like a construction loan. But I know the money's got to be expended by, or is it just awarded by 2024?
It has to be awarded by
Awarded.
2024.
Okay, so they don't have to use it all.
Has to be spent by 2026.
Has to be spent and completed by 2026. There were two things I wanted to double check on. One, I verified with Kim in regards to a single audit, it's expenditures within that fiscal year. So it's 750 for that fiscal year. So like, depending upon how this conveys, I'm sure we probably have other things that we're doing, but
Right.
even if we only advance 400,000 of this money in this fiscal year, but we've got another 370 that we've done for something else, that's going to trigger a single audit. It doesn't have anything to do with like the award itself. It's how we expend the funds, which it doesn't matter to Brian. Obviously, we want it done as quickly as we possibly can. The other thing, in listening to the timeline, just from a budgeting standpoint, the comment's been made, and I don't know if it's confirmed or not, but every statement in regards to the 290, the 735, 830, the 1,738, 800, and this now 737, 870, is that the amount is up to. The statement that he just made, it sounds like there could be unforeseen things that may encounter and increase that cost. So are we going to be budgeting in our upcoming fiscal year for whatever this shortage may be when he gets this, or are you going to fund that through ARPA?
Be through our,
That'd be my intention.
Okay.
Like if it comes in that way, like I'm into the agreement or something.
but White Ash is kind of a special deal because there's no municipality.
Okay.
It's us.
And the whole impetus of this would be to either have Johnson City take it over
Right.
once it's complete, or Pittsburgh. And that's another conversation. Johnson City's expressed interest in it. We open it up to Pittsburgh as well. Courtesy, just to see, I don't know. Then how do you determine if they both want it? How do you determine who gets it?
Time changes things. Initially, Pittsburgh was more interested in Johnson City. They sell the water, which typically get into an issue with, if I read your water meter to bill you for sewer, so normally that works in hand in hand. So Pittsburgh can take it over just as easy as Johnson City. So
Originally, I just thought since Johnson City treated the system.
We're closer.
Yeah, that's why. And Doug has expressed interest in taking it over at this time.
I've got some, if they're a client of mine, I can ask them again and just say, hey, we're moving forward with this.
Pittsburgh or Johnson City?
Johnson City. Now, Pittsburgh had been to a meeting previously at Johnson City saying, hey, this wholesale treating of sewage, you gotta set your future rates. And they kind of had a handshake agreement if Pittsburgh took it over. Of course, that's before Pittsburgh backed away. So that's what I mean. I get the feeling Pittsburgh, I don't know if one was anxious to take it over, but if this happens, Pittsburgh may be more anxious than Johnson City. So, but I'll fill out Johnson City first. I mean, I'll be talking to Doug again next
Talk to
week.
Doug. I talked to Doug not too long ago, but he was still
I
interested.
think they both kind of alluded that once this gets done, they might be interested.
Yeah,
Of course they would.
yeah, well, they don't have to spend a penny on
I
it.
mean,
Yeah.
It's just take the money. in.
but they still have to
And-
pay the debt down, so.
Yeah.
And I don't think we have that much money left, actually, in our funds to give them. Matter of fact, I think we only have 20,
There's not a lot in
I
there.
don't think no more than 25,000.
Right.
Well, that's not enough from the maintenance down. I mean, no sewer systems, no maintenance, but I'll knock down to a minimal, and so any water rates, sewer rates should be handled, and you let debt is left over, so. I don't know why either one would want it.
Right.
Great.
And how that'll work then if, so we kind of have since it's amongst yourselves to sign the agreement to proceed on with the televising contract and that kind of thing, and then as we incur costs, just bring them to you guys or Ashley once a month.
Right, you'll do a pay request meeting, and then you'll hand us your pay request form.
Yeah, we'll have a pay request for them.
I mean, you'll do
Our
your
typical,
typical.
unless you have one that you.
No, I mean, we'd use yours. I think when I was talking with Rodney and Ryan, I mean, if by some chance you use an Excel spreadsheet, I would love to have that, because I'm gonna have to probably input that into the treasury reporting system, like for every project and the expenditures. So instead of having to like retype it, if I could get it and be able to cut and paste it into that system,
Yeah.
that'd be great. The other thing I'd like to be able to do, and I don't know if it's gonna be possible, but if I could maybe set a window where you all submitted the pay request, like the last week of the month or something, where I could do one single wire, because the whole money's sitting in one account, and then it'll be transferred into a clearing account. So if I could just do a single wire to put it all in the clearing account and then start writing checks to the respective groups, I would
tell me when you want that, and
Okay.
we'll just cut it off whatever date that's in the month, or a week, whatever the month, or whatever.
Okay.
So other than that,
That's why I said they'll match your time.
Yeah. Okay.
so
You know how many customers are out there in White Ash? We haven't determined that.
I was in that application, 100 or so.
You said just over 100 last time.
I'll put it in 117.
Something like that.
Yeah, we had a guy make we installed his tap. And all these years, there's a gap, that much of a gap between the end of the sewer line and the side of the main. You know, and we're wondering how come we go through pumps and how come there's always debris in them. It is.
Yeah. Rock.
Yeah.
General comment on the thing I saw for any of the clients we're dealing with is, I think I've asked you about this, it says reimbursable, but do you just mean they will turn in a month, I'll give them the monthly pay estimate, let's say a contractor, they will turn to you and then they will get the money that month. It's not like they have to get a loan and pay it and then you get money, or is it?
No, you turn in a pay request, Ashley will get you a check.
Okay.
Yeah, and the way we talked with, like Blairsville is, since you're gonna turn the pay request, I'm gonna write the check to the Blairsville Water District.
Okay. You just mean you're not getting all the money up front.
Yeah,
so-
yeah,
No.
yeah, it's gonna be a rolling as needed, not,
And
Not-
like Ashley said, this is up to that amount.
And some people have said that they think they'll come in under. So,
So anything that comes under, your clients don't get to keep. You know, so it's just up to
and then the
them.
ones that said they might go over, they can pick up the rest. I
Yeah,
guess.
why not, we don't know a lot about.
No.
Blairsville, we put $150,000 contingency, even though I've got a bid in hand. So I don't know why we wouldn't come in under on that one, so yeah.
White Ash is a different animal.
Yeah.
So,
White Ash is a different animal, and so is Freeman Spur.
Brian, one thing I remember Blairsville saying, I don't know if you did this. They said that in the bid, a single audit, line item was listed or something
In our estimate.
in the estimate. That can't be paid with the ARPA funds. It actually has to be paid out by the entity themselves. So I don't know if you're, doing any other additional ones. I told once for that.
We didn't put in there, what I put in the cost estimate was 150,000 contingency, which, construction engineering, but I put in there 10,000 for attorney's fees and 10,000 for admin fees for their office for handling all this. That's what
Okay.
they wanted.
Okay.
Is that,
they could use that money. What else would they use it for? Admin.
well, they'll have a little, you could take the gal's salary in the office if she's doing a few hours a week dealing with this, I guess.
Yeah,
that-
I would think within reason.
The attorney's fees they have because of this whole deal, they did incur attorney's fees for the agreement with Carbondale to let them come into their area, and then the wholesale agreement with Lakeside to buy water. I don't know what those amounted to, but that Paul just had put 2,000 there for.
That wouldn't be,
You might have a little buffer in there.
those are not necessarily fees to do with the water tower, are they?
Has to do with the project, I guess. What is the deal with Carbondale? That really has to do with the sewer system. The whole buying water from Lakeside, it kind of has to do with the tower. But
No,
not
it has to
directly.
do, probably has to do with the project.
Yeah, more of like buying water to fill the tower from Lakeside, because that's how they're gonna fill it, but. So
Yeah.
we put it in there. It's up to you how you wanna, I could turn it, you guys look at it.
Yeah, we need to look at that. We need to look at that, because some of that's gonna be just them, the process of doing business, and they're gonna be selling water to that whole area out there.
Yeah.
So they're gonna be picking up customers because of that.
okay, so moving on to Lakeside.
Turn it in, you guys do it.
I've already signed this for White Ash.
Okay.
So we're good to go on that. So what would you like to discuss on the Lakeside project? This is for,
Nothing, I mean,
1.1.
yeah, so that was that one subdivision and then that small project, that 48,500, and then what they call the Reed Station Road.
It's behind, right.
Yeah.
Right behind the old rock.
So they turned in 3 sections and you awarded them 2
Right,
sections.
right.
So yeah, nothing, with that, we will get an agreement with them to do the work, design it, bid it, and then as costs are incurred, they'll submit it to you guys, so.
So once again, the December 26th date is still in effect on that, so it had to be done. on that. How soon can they get started on that, you know?
That one being mostly water main replacements, that could be this year, it's possible.
Honestly, though, they need, Lester needs to come in and sign this first.
Well, he can take that, can you take that to Lester?
You got a meeting coming up, or you just have one? Greg, you have one last week?
I don't remember, it's on my calendar.
Brian asked yesterday if you could just take that to Lester and have him sign.
I don't have a problem
Yeah.
with it. You got a problem with it?
No.
No, I don't know.
What are the two amounts for those?
On that one?
Cardinal was 46.
What was the,
$48,545 was Cardinal Lane. And then $1,054,850 is Reed Station Road subdivision.
And that's Lakeside Water District.
Yeah,
you remember how many customers were on that? Those two.
Like that's big.
There was a lot of customers, that's what I thought.
new service connections, okay. 100 on the Reed Station, so 103 approximately.
Mhm.
Lakeside itself's probably 1,100, something like that maybe.
They're good boards, they have a hefty reserve too, they're good.
Yeah, they're always mad because they're so well run that they don't qualify for grants. I tell them that, yeah, you're in a shambles sometimes, you get a grant, it's hard to understand, I know. But they're well run.
They're excited,
Yeah,
no good board
yeah, they
members.
do a really good job.
And they understand if they go over, then that would be, then there won't be additional.
They got it.
Yeah.
And then the last one that we have, is for,
Greensboro.
Greensboro. And that's for $852,500.
Yeah, and those two, there's actually two applications for that, actually, for right now, at the Lakeside. The sewer system improvement was 342,500. And then the water tank rehabilitation was 510,000. That should add up that number. And if you have the agreement signed with them, I can track down Sean to get that signed as well.
Like I said, to encourage Sean to make contact with us.
Yeah, he, begging for the money.
It's not like you have trouble getting those too.
Right.
So,
Right. Well, if we encourage him, by all means, to make contact with us when we call, leave a message. You should call us back.
Yeah, usually phone conversation with him late at night or weekend. and
You think if
sometimes-
you're at
What's that?
I said, you think if you're at $850,000.
You make a phone call.
How many people say
Well,
that?
you know what, actually, that's exactly what I thought, and I think that's what I said in Stephanie's office a few minutes ago.
And that's the village of
Look at their
Freemansport.
application.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to make sure I've got the
I
right.
think in the application I have, how many of them that with me?
The total number of residents,
Yeah.
customers.
Customers.
I remember seeing it, once again, this is another deal where if they don't fix this tank, they're gonna lose it.
Yeah, it's already had a pretty good leak that they borrowed that money for to fix. And that
Yeah.
affects the whole town, but Freemansport, what, 200 or 300 people?
Yeah, about that, probably 300 people maybe. And,
But in the applications, you probably have the copies of the application that should, I think we listed for all of them, how many customers and for residents.
no, I realize we have to pay for, once we get that single audit. And,
Yeah, you don't normally get, I mean, there's not very many, there's not really any programs, 100% grant, and that's what this is. So they'll be very happy to spend $3,000 or $4,000, $5,000.
Yeah.
They could. And I'll make sure he understands that.
I think we're all set.
And once again, on that one can start at any time.
Yeah, again, when I'm talking about timeframes, the 26 shouldn't be, I tell, this new world we're living in, I don't hate to estimate time or cost.
Right.
Because components and getting things here is kind of crazy. Now, the tank painting, what I'd like to do is actually get it out to bid. The problem with tank painters, they, in rehab, they like to bid things over the winter and stack up their year for it. So I probably would, to get a decent price, what I found, I need to actually go to a letting or bid it with them, but then give them probably 15 months to work it in. Because I know another consultant's had another city, they have got bidders on tank rehab jobs twice, they bid it, but I think they've been like 4 months. Well, these guys are so busy that you gotta give them time, so I'd like to get that one bid this summer, but it might not be till next summer.
Will the prices hold?
Yeah, we'll put it in there, that this is your, in our bid item, this is your time frame, this is a lump sum, so,
We'll pay quick too. Tell all your contractors we'll pay quick.
yeah. I'll let them know. And a lot of the costs like that, to hold, what they'll do is they may not do the work there, but the material usually is what bites them. Their labor is not as bad, they'll go ahead and order the material. So we could have a material cost estimate this year for them to pay for the paint.
Right.
We go out and verify that, okay, you bought the paint, that is for Freeman Spur, it's sitting there ready to go, and then we will process the payment, and
Require some kind of bond on them so they'll complete the job if they do that.
all these contracts will have payment performance bonds and certificate of insurance.
Okay. Yeah, paying quick always got my attention.
Yeah.
Considering we usually ran 90 days on receivables.
Yeah.
Well, I can drag my feet if you want.
Yeah.
You want me to.
I've been promising
They're
to give
used
you
to
quick
it.
pay, actually. No, we're gonna pay them quick.
Well, and in all seriousness, know though too, that a lot of the guys I work with know what entities will pay and process them, like Marion's always paid within a couple of weeks, done good, where some other entities have taken like 60 days, and that shows up a bit.
We always took that into account,
Yeah.
always.
So, and with like Freeman Spur, I get this agreement signed, they gotta understand those things, but once we get going on the project, our office is handling the paperwork, the pay estimates, tracking down them, get a signature to bring it up here, so.
Yeah.
I'd like to say we rely on them more, but we're not going to, so it's not how our projects usually go.
So that's your new place out there, huh? That's 13,
Yeah.
On 13.
Surprised how much the bank keeps borrowing, giving me borrow, so.
I saw Chris's guys out there today building your walls.
Yeah,
That's
actually, at that
exciting,
conference,
man.
I haven't seen the walls go up. My wife called and said, "Have you seen that?" I had not.
Well, they were crooked. I just want you to know.
Oh, were they?
Yeah.
As long as you get a smoothie through the window.
That's all that matters.
Yeah, I went by, they just got the fire put out, and I went by.
It's on fire.
Sorry, that guy from the bank's hiding out though.
Yeah.
That box culvert
That's a
that's.
big box culvert.
I'm sitting on my storm sewer.
Well, there you go. There goes your first payment right to the bank.
Yeah.
Right there making the arrangements for you guys.
All right. I think that's it.
You guys know where to find me if you have any questions or need something.
You're gonna be a busy guy.
Hey, Brian, I was gonna ask you, Lunsford made a comment, I mean, have you already purchased materials or there's already work going on that?
That's the one that they sent me, I can send those to you if I haven't already, where we didn't pay the developer as a construction manager, that was free, got bids. So they have somehow guaranteed to get them going to shop drawings, they guaranteed them the contract was coming.
Okay.
To make them feel warm and fuzzy. Now I've got to either assign the contract or develop a new contract.
Okay.
So I'm assuming that's what he's referring to, is that the paint contractors kind of got started with shop drawings and got going because they've been told.
The answer like materials have been bought, because I was here's what I'm trying to get at. March 31st is the cutoff. At the moment, from what I'm hearing, I'm not gonna have to spend any money on these, it appears, because the bids are gonna be sent out or whatever. So I'm gonna get another free, time period of reporting. But then he made the comment that there was materials that had been purchased for this, and there might be invoices coming in here this month. So that's why I was just kind of curious if that was a correct statement or.
And I questioned him on that yesterday.
Yeah.
He said that it was just dirt moving.
Okay. I may have stepped out whenever.
Yeah, I didn't take it to mean that
Well,
they
I-
actually bought
I
stuff.
doubt there's any dirt moving on the tank contract itself too. I mean, the
Yeah.
casino's gone, I haven't been out there, but they've been moving dirt on there, they've been doing it on the road. I doubt anything on the tank.
That's kind of what I doubted it also. That's why I
Anything that
asked.
happened on the tank is they could have bought the steel, they should have done a shop drawing, I'd have to ask my office, we reviewed the shop drawings for the steel, or
Right.
should they purchased the steel, and they're probably waiting on that. But, it's not that big of a deal, probably, to make sure that no invoices come to you after March 31st, if that helps, because I can't imagine that's a big deal, right?
Well, I like that, because then that's one less,
Yeah, it's before March 31st.
Yeah, as long as I don't get anything before the end of the month, then my detail report is gonna be much smaller.
Well, I'll find out where we're at in the tank contracts. I think all we did was review that. I'll just tell them that's the case unless I hear the project's being derailed otherwise.
Okay.
So let's talk about that before we get done here. So you asked him to have his pay request meetings towards the end of the month, bring us a pay request towards the end of the month, because you're gonna pay after the first of the month?
Well, I mean,
Because otherwise, if you're paying at the end of the month, at the end of every quarter, you're gonna have a check right before the report has to be done, right? Well, is that gonna matter?
I don't know if it's gonna matter. I mean, it's gonna catch up to itself at some point in time. I mean, I was just thinking if I got this stuff by the end of the month, I mean, it would maybe allow me the opportunity to start to, even if I don't cut the check till the following month. So let's say he turned in all of his pay requests at the last.
Say by the
month,
25th.
You know, yeah.
25th of the month.
Yeah, so I'm reviewing everything and everything's all together and all that. I could, if I don't cut the check, then that's gonna go on the next report.
On the next report.
And then, but I'm still gonna have to, I've gotta look and see, like I said, there's two parts to this. There's the award portion and then the expenditures portion. So I don't know if I've gotta, you know, how they have to match up, or if I could use the initial award portion for all these, and here's the total, and then I just keep, you know, running the totals against that to diminish it. You know, if that's the case, then I'll go ahead and enter in all the award portions for this end of March cycle, and then my expenditures will start for the following one as a, you know, as a pay and cut the check. For the following
But what I am hearing is that, I mean, we've got our budget to go on, is that I just give those to Ashley, that doesn't have to go to a board meeting each time for every bill for approval, it's just.
Well, pay request will be approved by them and signed off on a
Right.
claim itself, but I mean, we're meeting, well, we got it kind of ongoing every Wednesday. So it would fall within the week when you turn them in to get approved. And I think it's more.
So before the Wednesday of the last month.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah.
Right, if we have to, we can call
Yeah, we
real
can-
board
we can
meeting,
call.
approve it, and spit it right back out.
Okay.
If we know there's gonna be something, we can set a meeting up.
Okay, well, we'll just try to keep that in mind, and a lot of times when we bid something, we'll just tell our contractors, here's what we're gonna draw the line for that month.
Just like every other job I've ever had.
Yeah,
But honestly, within 2 weeks, I mean, when I submit the request to the wire, within 2 days it'll be there, and then I can cut the checks and have them out within that week time period. So even if you missed the Wednesday deadline and we were waiting for the following Wednesday, I would total it up, send the wire request, and probably have the wire done by that Friday, that following Monday, you have it done, and everything else. So you're talking within 2 weeks. I'd be delivering, I mean, the checks either to you to get to your people, or finding ways to get a piece to each entity.
So it will be checks, it won't be wires.
Yeah, because I need a better paper trail. Lunsford just said something about wiring money. I'm like, I want a physical check so I can copy it and put it in a file, so that way if I get audited, I mean, it's all right there.
yeah. Okay, no problem.
Okay.
Well, you did.
Thank you, Brian.
Thanks, Brian.
That's right. We'll see you.
Thank you very much.
See ya.
You guys have anything else you want to discuss?
I'm good.
Yeah, you're saying about recycling.
I did get a bid from Lori. It was $43,000 for 2 trailers. That's delivered. They won't be delivered until July. I did talk to Lori, and once again, I think honestly, since she said they've got a driver, and since that driver would be on their payroll, that's no extra expense to them. The only thing would be fuel. Because their driver's already covered by their insurance. So I would imagine, me personally, I'd like to see a contract with them, whatever we feel comfortable for a timeline, with almost just a minimum, whatever, if we have our no cost at all. Just give them the trailers and then contract with them to do it for a period of whatever. Because they've got the trailers, and the trailers should be used only for us, no one else.
Well, I alluded to it, I'm not interested in paying $42,000 for trailers. So I called Lori yesterday to see what, in my mind, get it through my mind what she's thinking. She's totally confused, I guess, based on conversation. She thought this was a 24-hour deal, what we're running now. And I told her, while we're on the phone, go to our website, look at the hours. Why can't you use your people with your trailer, their 18, 20-foot trailer, and run these routes? And
has
she
that.
said,
Oh,
you mean this isn't a 24-hour deal? I go, no. And she lots of Jews about, with the lids and all that. I go, she goes, we could mirror what you're doing now with our equipment,
Oh, with what they have.
which would be outstanding.
yeah,
All I would want, is maybe we could get a little bit of funding for maybe fuel, maybe help the people to pay for, we're still money ahead.
Oh my gosh,
She
yeah.
signed an agreement with them that they're gonna be there those 3 hours. And she said, I'll use our, wired 18-foot trailer. She said, there's 3 accounts that we do for free that I'm not happy with. I said, well, you'll be happy with this, the tonnage is going. And so, but she said, the market is not good right now, but she said, this would work. These hours, very, very doable. And she said, the only one thing I would request is that I can have like a week to tell other people,
Mhm.
they're not gonna be doing it, so she's not picking up anything early. And I told her, I said, so if this person she will bring 1 guy and 2 extras, they can help people unload. And it'd be 3.5 hours, boom, back to progress report. And then they come back on Wednesday, boom, back to progress report. We were just kind of, she said, if you could help us with, no problem, you know what I mean. And so she said, if you could just help us with some kind of funding, which is minimal. I said, I think.
She didn't have an idea how much she would want.
the only thing she told me about her
Couldn't be
trailers
that
were,
much.
they were open, they were a wire,
They
and
have
she
some
said
kind of
that,
little thing over the top of them or something.
yeah, she said cardboard would get wet if it's raining.
Yeah, she said she would have.
I said, well, that's on them.
I said, well, we've got some Gaylords in the, I said, we can get a truck. She goes, oh, CDL driver. And I said, you want to use Gaylords? She goes, we've got some here. And then she goes, I thought 24-hour deal. She goes,
Oh, no.
she goes, this is 9 hours, 11 hours, whatever it is. She goes, very doable for progress report. And then just do a little simple agreement that they're,
That's.
some little thing that they're
all good.
doing it, and so she don't think she's getting stiff. It was like, what took away from before? And I said, the reason why that's taken away for it is because they don't have the time to drive over Targetsport, empty, and get back. So I use some Republic time out there at the transfer station.
Right.
And she said, oh, I didn't really know what the reason was. She got a little, wiggly.
If she's agreeable to that,
That's the only way to go. And plus it saves us in the line item for recycling.
Yeah.
that's.
And because I said, my fear is, Lori, we get these trailers, and you say, this is ridiculous, what's up I'm picking up?
Right.
What you will say, she goes, I'm sure I will. You might say, heck, but we're up $42,000.
Right.
So anyway, so she's all about this, but, I just don't know what her expenditures are, but they can't be.
It can't be that
more.
much. They cannot be that much.
Then I think what we need to do is have her come in here on Tuesday.
But she seemed excited. I mean,
She-
she said, I can mirror those times. She was looking at my phone. I go, perfect. And her guys ride in on a transit,
Mhm.
so they get to like 8. Like, even if you got to change the hours, 8:30 to
Just as we're there.
Just change it.
whatever.
Just as
just
we're
change
there.
it.
Right.
So she's pretty excited. And we're out really,
Very little.
whatever little bit to help her.
Sure.
And then it's,
That's fine.
and so, yeah, she kept thinking 24 hours. No.
And we're helping, people there, progress.
Yeah, and they're helping the seniors unload.
Yes, sir.
Good.
That would be the ideal way.
Sounds good, good plan.
So,
All right, well, I think, let's bring her in on Tuesday.
See if she'll
Make sure we
come on
can
Tuesday.
iron this
Tuesday
out.
or Wednesday or whatever.
The agreement, our assistant state's attorney can hammer out a simple agreement, and we'll go with it.
Yeah.
So, okay, anything else?
I'm good.
Wire's been sent to Baxter. It's.
He's been paid?
Huh?
He been paid?
No, it'll be paid by noon tomorrow.
Well, you sent it, so he'll be
Yeah.
paid.
How does that work? If you wire now, it takes like 24 hours to.
Well, it depends on the receiving bank. So normally, like, as long as I sign the wire before like 2 o'clock, it'll go out from first up.
That's why they say in the banks,
But whether-
after 2 o'clock.
But whether or not it's received that same day before the close of business at the other bank is a question, but usually it'll get there before noon, so, I mean, you'll have to use money by tomorrow. in this county.
He ought to be happy.
Still, probably as quick as he's ever been paid on any job.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and I'll let Travis know, so I don't know if they've been corresponding, but. it's whatever it's gonna be.
Anything else? If not, just need a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Jim Marlowe.
Yeah.
Brent Gentry.
Yeah.
Tim Atkinson.
You betcha.
Say, heck yeah.
Oh.